Good morning and welcome to history class. Dear students, after a short break, we are going to start our class through online, that is virtual class. We all know that we are passing through a difficult situation, that is COVID-19. It is spreading all over the country and all over the world. And we are almost familiar with this situation. It has created a lot of difficulties in our life, and it is still standing in front of us as a challenge. A challenge always gives us an opportunity. So let us convert this challenge into an opportunity in our life. Online classes you should take seriously. I have already informed this to you because we don't know exactly how long we have to. I hope that we will meet in the classroom soon. With this, we can start today's class. Today, I am going to discuss the chapter Nationalism in India from unit number 1. The contents of this chapter are, first of all, we will have the introduction, then we will move to First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. In this topic, we will discuss the economic and political situations that created in India during the First World War, then about the Khilafat movement in short, and non-cooperation movement and the participation of different sections of people in the non-cooperation movement, their ideas and differences. In the next topic, that is differing strands within the movement. Different groups participated in the non-cooperation movement actively. They were having their own ideas, their own objectives, their own methods. And after discussing this part, we will move to the next topic, that is civil disobedience movement, which was different from the non-cooperation movement. Here also we will discuss about different groups who participated in the civil disobedience movement, their ideas, their objectives, their demands, and so on. This all we will discuss. And finally, we will see the factors which helped to create a sense of collective belongingness in the minds of the people of India. Before starting the chapter, in the introductory part, I would like to say something about the nationalist movement in India just after the formation of Indian National Congress. Indian national movement got a new phase after the formation of Indian National Congress. The period between 1885 and 1947 is broadly divided into 3 periods. That is the moderate phase between 1885 and 1905, and the moderate leaders mainly focused on constitutional methods, peaceful methods for obtaining their demands. They send petitions and memorandums to the government every year, and they trusted in the justness of the government, and they expected that when the government realized their demands are genuine, then it will be granted. That is what they expect. They did not make any pressure on the government to grant these demands. This attitude of the leaders, moderate leaders, that created discontent among many members of the Congress, many other leaders of the Congress, and this give way to a new phase that is known as extremist period or extremist phase between 1905 and 1918. And the leaders were Balagangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal. They were known as extremist trios. There were many other leaders, but these leaders played an important role, or they led the movement mainly. And after this, these leaders mainly focused on active resistance to attain their demands. Active resistance included hartals, strikes, picketing, rallies, and so on. After this phase, between 1919 and 1947, the third phase, that is Gandhian era, he introduced, and the leader of this period was M.K. Gandhi. Gandhiji emerged as an important leader of the nationalist movement in India. He was different from the other leaders because he tried to bring all the sections of people, different social groups, together to fight against the British government. And about this period or this era, that is Gandhian era, we are going to discuss in this chapter. In the introductory part of this chapter, Nationalism in India, it is telling about nationalism. What is nationalism and what led to the rise of nationalism in India? We know that what is nationalism? It is a feeling. It is a feeling of belonging to one geographical area, one nation. And when this feeling emerges in the minds of the people, then this will create unity in the minds of the people. And that is nationalism or nationalistic feeling. And what led to the rise of nationalism in India? What were the factors? The factors which helped for the rise of or the growth of nationalism in India. First of all, we can say that anti-colonial feeling, because we were under the control of Britishers for many centuries, and people were fed up with these colonial rulers, their policies, their oppression, their exploitation, and so on. And this created an anti-colonial feeling in the minds of the people. So this led to the growth of modern nationalism. Secondly, we can see that when people came together or in their fight with the colonial rulers, different groups, they came together and they realized that they are fighting against a common enemy, that is the British. And this understanding, this discovery by the people, that helped to create a unity in the minds of the people or different groups. And this led to the growth of nationalism. Thirdly, we can say that when different groups came together to fight against the oppressive British government. This helped in the development of a shared bond that tied many different groups together, and this ultimately led to the growth of or the rise of nationalism in India. In the next part, we are going to discuss about the first topic, that is First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. First World War took place or started in 1914 and ended in 1918. India was ruled by Britishers, so naturally India was forced to join with on the side of Britishers, and they, to get the support of the Indians, they made many offers, many promises to the Indians, and Indians supported the Britishers with the expectation that after the end of the war they will get many opportunities, or these promises given by the Britishers will be fulfilled. The Britishers wanted to exploit the natural resources as well as the human resources of our country, and the war expenditure increased, and to meet this war expenditure they increased the taxes, and they introduced new taxes, and customs duties were increased, income tax was introduced, and this increased the burden of the people. Secondly, the prices of the essential commodities that increased, doubled or tripled between 1913 and 1918, and that increased the hardships and difficulties of the people. Along with this, we can see that during this period, crops failed in many parts of the country, which led to food shortage. Along with this crop failure, influenza epidemic was also spread in different parts of the country, especially in the western side of the country, and which took the life of millions of people. About 12 to 13 million people died during this period due to famine and the spread of influenza epidemic. Villagers were forced to provide soldiers for reinforcement because casualties were very high. To reinforce the army, there was need of soldiers. So we know that during wartime people are not willing to join in the army. So the Britishers introduced forced recruitment in villages, and this caused widespread discontent in the minds of the people. These were the political and economic situations that took place in India during the time of First World War. With this, we can wind up today's class, and we will meet in the next class. Thank you.